Delray Beach, Florida is the idyllic setting for the Delray Beach Open, a combined ATP World Tour 250 and ATP Champions Tour event. The tournament is in its 7th year on the Champions Tour, and it's become tradition of late for the Open to kick off the seniors season. It's a popular destination for players and fans alike.
A little beach community, and it's fun place to play. The weather's usually great, gets a little windy, but the sun's always shining, and definitely can't complain about that.
It's such a beautiful venue. I mean, Delray itself is downtown. It's a cool place. It is special for me because I live like 15 minutes away, and so I love this tournament. I played that tournament on clay court like 17 years ago. So it's really special for me. It's a success tournament here. I love it.
It's a great way to start the tournament. We have those people that live here that remember these guys from their past. They really worship watching them and seeing them. They look forward to it. And it's led into the World Tour really in a way that's been better than I hoped, because you get all these people out here for the Champions Tour and they get so excited they now buy tickets for the World Tour as well.
If you want to watch, some real tennis, you come the week and so on ATP, and but people want to watch also the former player, more relaxed, enjoy like good matches. So it's a good balance, and it's a really good setup for the tournament.
It's nice to do it before and not during the same time. It gives a kind of like a warm up, for the spectators.
In recent years, the tournament has adopted a Team USA versus Team International format. This has ramped up the competitive streak between the players as they look to win for their teammates as well as themselves.
Players love the team. It's like any other sport. It's like the Davis Cup. They love playing for a team, the camaraderie, joining each other together, international versus the Americas. It kind of worked out something that we thought about doing it, and it took off, and it's been great ever since.
To do things like this, I think it always brings extra value to the competition, and people like it.
Tennis is such an individualized sport that it's quite nice to play for a team. I always used to love doing the Davis Cup and the Olympics and things like that. So it's a nice format, different.
This year sees the debut of former world number 7 Mardy Fish on the ATP Champions Tour. And what better way for the Floridian to make his first appearance than by representing his country in his home state.
Man, it's kind of nice, not to have to worry too much about winning or losing, and just going out and enjoying and playing some different generations that you've never had the opportunity to play against, which is pretty cool. Obviously, our eras never crossed paths, so we were never able to get on the court together. So that part is really cool.
Marty was great having him here, in that he's from Vero. Everyone down here knows him. He's one of the fan favorites, so just getting him to come here so close after being on the ATP Tour was a winner for everybody, especially for this event.
He's still got some games. He's in a good shape. He's working hard also with, some juniors of the USTA. So he's really involved, in the game, and that's good for the American tennis.
So with both teams assembled, everything was in place for an exciting opening to the 2016 ATP Champions Tour season. To kick off proceedings, Team USA's Aaron Krickstein took on Team International's Wayne Ferreira. After racing through the first set comfortably, Ferreira was given a sterner examination in the early stages of set 2. Krickstein settling into his game, backed by the home crowd. But the former world number 6 Ferreira was holding firm on his serve and dictating longer rallies from the baseline. With Krickstein also not giving an inch on his service games, the second set looked destined to be heading for a tiebreak. But with the set at 5-all, the South African looked to make the breakthrough at just the right time. All that was left was for Ferreira to serve out the match and strike the first blow for Team International. Mardy Fish's debut in Delray, the 34-year-old would take on a man 16 years his senior in Spain's EMILIO Sanchez. Fish, reasonably fresh from retirement, was able to power towards a commanding lead in the opening set. But Sanchez was still chipping in with his own moments of magic at the net. Fish, who won the ATP World Tour tournament in Delray Beach in 2009, kept up his high intensity to wrap up the first set for the loss of just one game. Into set two, the Spaniard was more than holding his own. Sanchez consistently giving the Americans' younger legs balls to chase and keeping the set competitive. But the Floridian stepped his game up a gear to break soon after. From there, Fish wasn't going to look back, passing Sanchez at any opportunity, much to the Spaniard's dismay. The former world number 7 wrapped up the match for the loss of just 5 games, and at the end of day 1 had levelled the series for Team USA at 1 rubber apiece, going into a hectic second-day schedule. The age difference proving insurmountable for Team International's Sanchez. Still to come on the ATP Champions Tour. Stars of men's tennis past and present take part in the exciting new tiebreak 10s format. And 2 American tennis heavyweights grill one another on the hot topics as Blake meets Fish.
Can you tape that? Are we good? No? Okay.
It would be a busy day for James Blake, who would compete in 2 matches for Team USA. First up in the day session was SEBASTIEN GROSJEAN. In 4 meetings on the ATP World Tour, Blake only managed 1 win against GROSJEAN, and in front of a home crowd was looking to restore parity after an early break for the Frenchman. The breakback did transpire for Team USA, and with the match back on serve, Blake was beginning to show his full repertoire on centre court. But GROSJEAN was proving tricky from the baseline, finding the angles on his service games. With the set seemingly headed for a tiebreak, the former world number 4 upped his game at just the right time to take it 7-5. In the early stages of the second set, both men had their running shoes on, as some creative rallies were keeping the Florida crowd entertained. The second set proved considerably more one-sided than the first, and a double break for Blake sealed the match for Team USA to take the lead for the first time in the competition. They'd go on to extend their lead after GROSJEAN lost again later in the day to Mardy Fish, paving the way for Blake to win the title for the States. But he would need to do that against the only Team International player to record a win so far, Wayne Ferreira. The pair's head-to-head record on the ATP World Tour finished at 1 match all, with Blake winning the only meeting on American soil in Cincinnati in 2003. An encouraging start for the American saw an early break, but that didn't perturb Ferreira. Team International would have to win every match from here on in to retain their crown. But Blake kept hold of his advantage in set 1. After running away with set 1, Blake would need to hold serve early in the second, even with Ferreira doing his best to put his opponent off the task in hand. A single break coming midway through the set was enough for Blake to seal the victory for himself and for Team USA. A 4-1 lead for the Americans with just 2 matches left meant that Team International had just pride to play for on day 3. James Blake and Mardy Fish were 2 of the headline acts during a prosperous time for American tennis. The pair were both fierce rivals, meeting 5 times on the ATP World Tour, and teammates, winning 2 titles as a doubles partnership. Once again, the 2 joined forces as part of Team USA in Delray, and they took some time to reflect on some great moments in their respective careers, and plenty more besides.
James, we have played 5 times. What match did you play your best?
Probably the New Haven final in front of my home crowd, so I was very excited and had the J block there, and so I got a little energized. That was my best win since I only beat you twice, so that was
that was my worst match I played against you.
Game, set the match. James Blake.
So what was your best match? You beat me 3 times.
I actually never really played that well against you. You faked an ankle injury against me. And
always.
no, probably the US Open.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
What, outside of that match when you beat me, what is your best match ever that you played on tour?
Roger Federer, 2008 semis, Indian Wells.
He's done it. Fish defeats Federer in straight sets.
What was your favorite hotel on tour?
My favorite hotel was the Crown Towers in Melbourne, Australia. What was yours?
Well. Mine as well.
Such good food.
We modeled our bathroom in our house after the bathrooms in the Crown.
That was the first place I saw the shades that closed with the remote control,
yeah.
And I put those in my house because of that.
I didn't have that much money. So
What do you like so far about the Champions Tour?
Well, I'm undefeated, and I feel like I'm Novak Djokovic of the senior tour, and I can't wait to kill you. Yeah. Can you tape that? Are we good? No? Okay. What is your favorite restaurant all time on the road?
Favorite restaurant all time? Probably Annapurna in Paris.
Good call.
I love Indian food. I like spicy food, and that one is fantastic. What is yours?
How about Mr. Chow in London?
Mr. Chow in London is great.
I've had many nights there.
I've had a few nights there. Who would you invite to dinner if you could invite 3 people to dinner, living or dead, right now?
Wow. 3 people just to dinner?
Just to dinner.
That's a good question.
That's a thinker.
Nelson Mandela.
That's a good one.
Your brother T-Bone.
I think they would get along really well.
Yeah,
don't you?
they would get along great. Just for and how about maybe someone that John Mayer he'll just sing on the you know.
He can be the background music. Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be perfect.
He's not afraid to go to dinner and just sing out loud. Who is the best doubles player you've ever played with?
Present company
from the States that you're friends with?
That would have to be Mardy Fish, the best doubles player I've played with. And I assume yours would be
Mine's Andy Roddick.
Okay, another one. Who is your celebrity crush?
I'm a huge fan of Rachel McAdams. She's in a movie, I'll watch it. I might have a couple, actually.
I mean, I just asked for one. You don't need to do extra credit.
Yeah, no, I'll just go with her.
Mine would have to be Eva Mendes. Big fan of hers. My wife's aware of this.
Yeah. James, thanks for joining me.
Marty, thanks for joining me.
No, thank you. Good? We nailed it?
James Blake's final outing at the Delray Beach Open was against EMILIO Sanchez, still looking for his first win of the tournament. Team USA already had an insurmountable lead, and Blake was halfway to extending it further after taking the first set. As the second set progressed, the Spaniard was becoming more and more frustrated as attempts to get back into the match were passing him by. But Sanchez did restore parity in set 2, and at 3-3, both men began to turn on the style. Two games later, and Blake had carved out the opportunity to serve for the match by breaking at a crucial time. But Sanchez wasn't going down without a fight. This was one of 2 match points saved for Team International. That only served to delay the inevitable, though, as Blake finished the week with an unbeaten record for Team USA. The score now standing at 5-1 to the Americans. The final match of the Delray Beach Open saw Mardy Fish take on Wayne Ferreira in a bid to be the second American with a 100% record. The only meeting on the ATP World Tour between these two saw the South African edge a 5-setter at the 2003 Aussie Open. And the opening stages of this clash proved close too, with both men difficult to beat at the baseline. But it was Fish who gained the all-decisive break, and he went on to serve out the first set. In the early stages of set 2, Ferreira, a decade older than his opponent, was finding joy at the net. The week had so far made for a memorable ATP Champions Tour debut for Fish, and he was looking to remain unbeaten as the second set unfolded. The American was outlasting his opponent in more and more of the longer rallies. Now, with a break in the bag, it was only a matter of time for Fish. Soon after, the match was settled, and Fish rounded off a resounding victory for Team USA as they took the Delray Beach Open by 6 matches to 1. As Champions Tour debuts go, they don't get much better than that of Mardy Fish. So, confirmation of all the results at this year's Delray Beach Open. A resounding win for Team USA, as both James Blake and Mardy Fish went unbeaten all week. The solitary win for Team International coming in the opening rubber for Wayne Ferreira over Aaron Krickstein. The rest of the world All-Stars failed to retain their 2015 crown, 6-1 to Team USA. Back in December, at the season-ending finale at the Royal Albert Hall, some very special guests took part in tie-break 10s, an entertaining new tennis format. Round 1 began with stars past and present taking to the Royal Albert Hall court. The 10 men's
victory. 10 points to 7.
Always just a step in front of McEnroe. Shame for Kyle Edmund. But a good experience for him, but it is, as expected, Andy Murray who takes the win. Too good. In the end, far too good. A runaway win for Xavier Melis. Oh, yes. Huge kick. And then good hands. And that's a significant win for the 20-year-old from Beverly. After some exciting first-round ties, the final four had been decided. That's why. Is he a better returner than Djokovic? Perhaps not, but he's certainly the second best in the world. Edmund rather fell away there, and Murray just did a mopping up.
Yeah, I didn't make any mistakes, and yeah, Tim missed a few balls that normally he would make, but yeah, I just played solid.
Yeah, powered that one home. Yeah, beautiful hit. Fabulous. A great rally to finish.
Yeah, play with a lot of spin, try and get it up and down quick. That's just my game, trying to attack, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be very tricky to do that against Andy now.
So the final would showcase the cream of British men's tennis talent. This shouldn't be happening. He's made it. Thumbs up from Murray. How brave was that? What a week it's been for Kyle Edmund. Part of the winning Davis Cup team in Ghent. And now here, he beats his hero, and he pockets $250,000.
Yeah, I played better. Like Andy said, I served better, and playing Andy, I knew how to play, but otherwise I'd no chance. Yeah, it's a privilege for me to be here, so yeah, I'm just thankful.
Kyle Edmund!
Next time on the ATP Champions Tour. Plenty more action as the team format disappears and it becomes every man for himself. Until then, don't forget to log on to atpchampionstour.com and talk with us on Facebook and Twitter. See you next time.